Hey everybody, Chris here. Fear in the markets. What does this mean for Dogecoin, Bitcoin, and ETH? We're going to talk about that in this video. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hit that little notification bell too. You can be notified when my new videos come out, as well as when I do live streams. And I've noticed kind of a negative sentiment across the markets right now. And, we look at the short-term price action and things are down, but these are pullbacks. These corrections happen again and again and again in crypto. The whole idea is to get you to sell so the institutions and whales can buy it all up, and they're the ones making money while you end up sitting on the sidelines. Are you doing that? Are you lettuce hands? Are you diamond hands? We're going to talk about that. Let's get into it. Let me show you the charts in the news. I'll show you what I'm looking at. We start here looking at the current Dogecoin chart. We're about 21.5 cents right now. Recovering from yesterday's drop just below 21. That's right, 20.8 on this sort of double dip that we had late last night, and now recovering back up. So that's the short-term view, right? And we were over 22 cents here on Tuesday morning, and Tuesday was a bad day. There's a lot of negative sentiment following a Monday drop as well with negative sentiment. So I see that in the markets. They're responding. Even the ETFs, the Bitcoin and ETH ETFs, have had sell-offs the past couple days. So there is this uncertainty out there. I get it. Fear and greed, right? Well, it is more toward fear now. And even on ETH as well. So it's the whole market. If anybody's saying, oh, Dogecoin's down, it's like, look at what everything's doing. Look at Cardano. Cardano had this great week last week, and it is way down from where it was over the weekend. So it's across the entire market, not just Dogecoin, guys, not just Dogecoin. And here we start, right? Cardano, XRP, and Dogecoin lead the losers as crypto fear index slides. Bitcoin nears 113,000. The Powell speech at Jackson Hole. This is a big thing, right? And I'm just like, guys, this is just unbelievable what this is about. Like I posted this morning, it's like, I find it amazing how one man's speech, of which he really isn't going to say anything of consequence, has everyone on the markets on edge. Will he sound hawkish? Will he sound dovish? If you're going to give little hints, expect volatility, the markets, and I'm just like, we talk about rate cuts possibly in September, and even if there aren't rate cuts, so what? It's like not going to be the end of the world. But I get it. This is what all of the finance news people, and they're all like keying in on these individual things, and I'm just like, oh man. So today, on Wednesday, we're going to have the FOMC minutes, right, from the last FOMC meeting, and people are going to read through all the fine print, right, and they're going to be like, oh, this is good, this is bad, and the markets are going to hawkish crypto weakness, dovish crypto rally. It's like all this focus here in cryptocurrency worldwide shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter to this. But I get it. This is what we see. This is what we see. So yeah, look at this. Last week we were in greed, 73 on the Bitcoin fear and greed index. Yesterday was still holding on to greed, and today we're fear. Just like that. Now we're down to fear. Again, rising inflation because of tariffs, maybe. That's still kind of hanging over, which is why I think there's going to be some words to that effect. Again, the Fed is not looking just at the data, but they're also looking at still what might happen or what might not happen. So that's still out there. Pump.fund leads gainer. So if you're into the pump token, that was a big decrease on Monday, but Tuesday overnight and Wednesday it came back. So we have that. But Cardano, after the big run that it had, it's falling back, looking at testing key support levels. And we have Bitcoin testing key support levels. But Skybridge Capital founder Anthony Scaramucci still saying we still maintain our price target between 180,000 and 200,000 Bitcoin by year end. And then Dogecoin, we covered the whole, Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump with the Thumbs Up Media Corporation buying into this company to do utility scale Dogecoin mining, right? This is all going to be mining, and I love the ticker XDOG. We're going to be looking at XDOG, right? As they take over Doge Hash Technologies Holdings. So we covered all that yesterday. So we're ahead of the game here on the ChrisPax channel of what's going on. And then looking at the chart overall, you know, we had that golden cross, right? The 50 crossed over the 200. And right now, Doge is currently trading just above both of them. And we're at this decision point, right? Is this just that? RSI is right at like 47. It's neutral. So we're at this decision point right now of up or down. Well, let's take a look at what's going on, right? So we talked about liquidity. We talked about looked at the heat maps and the liquidations, and you know, as Bitcoin hit a new all-time high there, of which Chris, of course, bought the top, right? Bought the top right there in Bitcoin. And what happened then? Price goes down. It starts flushing out a lot of the long leverage trades. Goes down further. Bigger losses. And now we're talking hundreds of millions of dollars as Bitcoin comes down to the 115 level. And then again, coming down to 113, taking out more, hundreds of millions of dollars. This is all of those long leverage trades the exchanges did not want these traders to win on. And so they've successfully been taking them out, liquidating. Look at all the shorts up here, though, back at 120, right? These are the big shorters. They're in control now. I think it's only a matter of time before we get back up there. So the biggest cluster in close proximity now sits at around 120K. And of course, the local range lows at 112 are still in play, but there's not as much left. There's not as much left down there. And that's Bitcoin. And then we have ETH. And on ETH, similar thing, right? ETH goes on this big run, right? Taking out shorts, and then hits a high, the local high, and then comes down and starts taking out all the longs. Same thing on the ETH. ETH just flushed billions in liquidations, sitting around 4,000 to 4,150. Will it sweep out liquidity clusters down to 3,500? So this is the fear that's in there right now, is are we going to see this come back lower and take out even more or not? I mean, that's sitting out there, but again, this is what moves the markets right up and down for the most part, particularly in this summer, the summer of chop, I call it. And look at all the shorts on ETH now. Big shorts up there too. So that's out there. Look, for Bitcoin, we kind of had this double top. It was a higher top, but we had lower RSI. And when you have a lower RSI with a higher high, that we'll see whether that's going to break down, right? That was the big breakdown, right? Not bullish, but could we have hit a bottom here on that, flushing out all of that liquidity on Bitcoin? Retail thinks breakdown. Institutions know it's the setup. Liquidity is harvested. Every panic candle is transfer of wealth. The next pump will redraw the entire market. Most won't be ready. A lot of panic selling went on the pullback. But the institutions are still going to keep accumulating. Now, the ETFs, we saw big outflows, but again, the ETFs are retail traders for the most part. They are fearful. They were pulling money out of ETFs. That's not institutional buying. That's ETFs. Ash Crypto says, look, while everyone is in extreme fear of the recent Bitcoin dump, take note that this is the shortest correction in the entire trend. 9%. It's a 9% pullback on Bitcoin. Look at the ones we've had throughout this whole cycle. 22%, 20%, 21, 22, 33, 32. This is just 9%. And it's like all this fear. So I don't get it, but I understand how people are just not trusting the overall view of crypto. I mean, if you believe in the 4-year cycles, awesome. You think there's going to be a great fall. But if you're just a bear and you're done, you can sell and be done with it. But Bitcoin has been trading in this range. I mean, the bots love this, right? The bots always win when we're in range traders, right? When it says range traders, these are typically bots, the bot trading. They love this, up and down, up and down. Summer of chop, as I've called it, right? You can make money bot trading in this kind of up and down action, right? This is where the bots make money. The bots don't make money or as much money when you have the big runs up. And they're not making money when you're in a bear market and it's just going down. This is where they make money. Range trading, we could call it that, sure. But here we have zoomed in. Now we're talking about a higher low on the RSI while Bitcoin hit a lower low on the price. That is bullish. That is a bullish divergence over the past few days. So that would be the next move, right? That would be the next move, is up. Others versus Bitcoin, the encouraging thing about this dip is how altcoins have held up relatively well compared to past dips, largely being triggered by ETH maintaining relative strength against Bitcoin. Strong sign that once the market recovers, strong alts will move fast again. So yeah, Bitcoin goes down, alts fall a little harder, and of course the memes were just a little bit harder this time, although Cardano had a bigger pullback, but that's just because it went on a bigger run last week. So we do have kind of that evening out over time, but otherwise this move hasn't really changed much on others versus Bitcoin. Trader Allen says, look, if you zoom out and you look back to June, Dogecoin has just been posting higher lows on the big picture. So that is a trend line that is still positive. But then he goes into his fractals and he looks at this 2024 fractal of November on the backs of the Trump presidential win at the election and Elon and Department of Government Efficiency and Doge and all of that. And he just uses that fractal on top of where the price is now. And I guess I get there's like some similarities of some of the price movement, but that doesn't mean that's going to happen. And I had to respond to that because I'm just like, come on, you can't just post that over and say this is what's going to happen, and all of a sudden Doge is going to be $1.25. Like, you need some reason for that to happen. Otherwise, I mean, we'll see where we get to. Does Doge go back up to 48 cents? And does it go higher or not? I mean, we'll be watching that this fall. And Crypto Elites is like, yeah, Doge is loading. We're going to have this bull run up to $5. So there's still some moon boys out there, right? Overall, this is what Doge tipping says. Volatility is just the ride. Risk is not knowing why you're on it, right? Do you know what you're doing? Do you know what's going on? Do you see what's going on? We're just riding along, right? If you're a believer in the 4-year cycles, this is just a momentary little pullback on a much bigger ride that we're going to be looking at this fall. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think about this fear, right? Are you fearful? Is this your first cycle and like now there's all this uncertainty, right, of all this stuff going on, right? There's going to be a 51% attack on Doge. That's FUD, right? That's FUD. We covered that, right? This is all building, I think. That's where I am. But let me know in the comments below what you think. Give the video a like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate the support. We'll see you next time.